one of the big fears is like purpose, right? Like human purpose, like work gives us purpose. And also I think the idea that we are the ones advancing humanity gives us purpose. Like we are like we have some control over our own destiny, maybe gives us this sense of purpose. And it feels like that we would lose a sense of purpose, or that purpose would be adjusted. Like if AI is to really, continue to advance so quickly, it feels like our sense of purpose would start to really disappear. Have you had thoughts about that?
I worry about this a lot. So I think people have worried about this with every big technological revolution.
Got it.
But I agree that this time it feels different. Like,
okay, yeah, because say you had an axe and some guy came out with a saw, you're
fine.
You're like, yeah, that's.
Or even if they come out with like a robot that cuts the tree down, it still feels fine. But like creativity, intelligence, I think cuts so deeply at the core of whatever we are and how we value ourselves. One example we can look at this right now, I think one area where AI is having a big impact is on how people write software for a living. And AI is really good at that. It's really changed what it means to be a software developer. I haven't heard any of those software developers say that they, even though their job is different, that they don't have meaning. They still enjoy it. They're operating at a higher level. And I'm hopeful, at least for a long time, 100 years from now, who knows? But I'm hopeful that that's what it'll feel like with AI is even if we're asking it to solve huge problems for us, even if we ask it to say like, go discover a cure for cancer, there will still be a lot of things to do in that process that feel valuable to a person. Mm-hmm. You're still asking it the questions. You're still like helping guide it. You're still framing it or whatever it is. You're still like talking to the world about it. And I think all of human history suggests that we find a way to put ourselves at the center of the story and feel really good about it. Like, if you kind of think like, we used to think that the Earth was the center of the solar system. And then we're like, very human-centric view. And then we're like, okay, fine, the sun is the center of the solar system. But the solar system is at least the center of the galaxy. And now, oh man, there's a lot of galaxies. And oh man, now we're this like tiny speck in this like very huge universe. And yet we still manage to feel all like a lot of main character energy. And so I somehow think even in a world where AI is doing all of this stuff that humans used to do, we are going to find a way in our own telling of the story to feel like the main characters. And I think in an important sense, we will be. And that's really good. I also probably already today, there could be a very compelling version of two AIs talking like this. And I don't think I would want to watch that. Like, I think I really do feel deeply wired to like care about the real person behind it. I think that's like deep in the biology.
Right. Do you think right now, if humans, regular average humans, most humans could vote to keep AI going or to stop AI, what do you think
That's a great question.
What do you think that they would vote?
This is like totally kind of, I don't have any data for this. I would bet most people who use ChatGPT, which is a lot of people now, they would say like, keep it going. And most people who don't would say, it's scary, stop it. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like most people would say, stop it, I think, or pause it, take the wheels off of it for a month, that kind of thing, siphon the gas out of the tank, like that kind of thing, put sugar in it. I think there would be like that kind of thing,
What are you most afraid of with it? Or is it just that we're not going to have purpose and we don't know how it's all going to go?
Yeah, I mean, those are some of the huge parts, but I think like there's like probably that. I think that in the end, I think there's a general feeling of like, well, if all the trucking jobs disappear, if those become automated and like, yeah, if everything becomes a robo-tax, like, will that feel, where will those people go for jobs? Will everybody just be dancing on TikTok trying to get people to tip them for trends and stuff? Like there's part of that. I had this dream years ago that it all ends with everybody's driving an Uber and literally holding each other at gunpoint to be each other's passengers, right? Like, get in my car, because that's how bad, like somebody's like, I need the fare more than you do. My whole family's in the back seat, sit shotgun, we'll get you to where, like people are literally holding each other at gunpoint to subscribe to their OnlyFans and stuff. Like it's just that dystopian or whatever. So I guess part of that, but then there's a deeper part where it's like, yeah, what comes out of us if it feels like a lot of the regular stuff that gives us purpose, that we know right now gives us purpose? Is there a new evolution of our purpose? Is there like a blooming inside of us? Is it this utopian place that you almost think of as like a heaven idea where, you know, people are fed and have enough, you know, are provided for, can take care of themselves? I guess that's it. Or what? Because purpose gives people work gives people so much of their purpose. And so for to lose those things, what is it? What happens? You know? And I know I kind of keep asking that over and over again. You don't really have the answers, and it's okay. Of course, how could you? We're not in the future.
I mean, I think people really do love to be useful to each other, and people love to express their creativity as part of that.
Mm-hmm.
And as the long-term trend of society getting richer has continued, more people, I think, are able to get closer to sort of expressing themselves in the best way that they can. Maybe like, you know, as recently as 500 or 600 years ago, not very many people got to be artists. The world wasn't that rich. There were a limited number of patrons that could like pay you to create art, but there were more than zero. And before that, there were almost none. And then you got this beautiful Italian Renaissance and all of this amazing art because there was like excess capital in the world. And now a lot more people can be artists, or a lot more people can start startups, which is another, like for me, that's like my expression of creativity.
Right.
Or more people can create content.
Yeah.
And this idea that people can find whatever way they can to express themselves, their talent, their vision, for kind of collective love of other people and a care for putting their brick in society's progress. I think that can go really far. Now, what art in the future looks like now that AI can make art or help make art, I don't know. It'll probably be kind of different. What startups will look like in the future when people can kind of just say whatever they want to their AI and it can make the software for them right then, it will kind of be different. But I think it's such a bad bet to assume that either human creativity or human fulfillment from being useful to other people ends. I think we stay on this exponential, and like each year, each decade, our collective standard of living goes way up. The whole world gets way richer. We all get more. We all expect more. And even over like the course, I was thinking recently, like food is so much better than it is when I was a kid. Like the world has just figured out how to make food better. Like we figured out organic vegetables or whatever it is. I don't know. It just tastes much better. And like, I think that's great. I don't want to go back to eating like the frozen carrots or whatever.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. But then there's some, like I saw this thing the other day. It was like a kitchen. They had like one of those robo kitchens or whatever. You know, when you order food from like something dash or whatever, and then you, but it's like Hank's Ribs, and then it's like Marty's Pizza, and then it's like Susan's Salami Shop, but they're all the same place,
yes.
You know?
And when you get that from Window Dash, you don't like, you feel like something's missing, right? You're like, this is fake. I can tell. Yes. I get less enjoyment. You would rather get that food from like the dude who's been making it and perfecting it on the, you know, that little pizza shop on the corner for the last 20 years.
Right.
Because that's like part of, like, that dude is part of the experience. That authenticity is part of the experience.
Right.
I don't think that goes away with the like fake robotic thing.
Okay. Yeah, because I think I start to feel like we're in this universe where it's like you're walking down the street or something and like a Waymo goes by and it's like, eat now. And you're like, and you already did eat. It's just got a bad reading or something. It's got a bad valve in it or something. Yeah. You're like yelling at it. There's nobody in there. And you're like, I already ate. It's like, sit down and eat now. And it just like fucking uses like a t-shirt cannon to just like shoot a burrito at you. And then you're sitting there, you're eating that, you know? And then the GLP car goes by, right?
And says, I can help you out.
Yes. And it's like, obviously you've overeaten. And you're like, I didn't even want to eat. That thing's messed up, right? You're yelling at a car that has no driver in it. And then it shoots you with 3 GLP-1 darts in the neck. And now your wife doesn't even recognize you when you get home or whatever, you know?
The fact that you find this so off-putting, I think, is a sign for optimism.
Yeah.
Like,
that's actually a good point. It's
you're wired.
Fun.
You're going to be resistant to that. That's not going to make you happy. That's not going to make other people happy. Now, maybe we get tricked. Like, social media tricked us for a while. We got too addicted to feeds, whatever. But we realized, like, actually, this is not helping me be my best. You know, like doing the equivalent of getting the like burrito cannon into my mouth on my phone at night. Like that's not making me long-term happy.
Right.
And that's not helping me like really accomplish my true goals in life. And I think if AI does that, people will reject it. However, if ChatGPT really helps you to figure out what your true goals in life are and then accomplish those, you know, it says, hey, you've said you want to be a better father or a better, you know, you want to be in better shape or you know, want to like grow your business. If you want, we can change that goal and I can help you scroll TikTok all night or, you know, eat the burritos or whatever. And I'll give you the GLP-1 shots and I'll make you as healthy as you can. But like maybe instead I can try to help convince you should go for a run tonight. And I think if AI feels like it is helping you try to accomplish your goals and be your best, that will feel very different than the last generation of technology.
Yeah. And you know what? And that's where I'm like, and that's where a kid growing up right now, to them, that would probably, some young people, it might be like, that makes the most sense. I'm a little older generation. I might be like, oh, that seems a little, but that's always how things are with generation and generation.
It's always how it goes.
Yeah, you're right. And maybe this is just like a quicker evolution of things. And for young people, it's going to make so much sense. And for older people, and you're just going to be like, get off my, you know, avatar lawn or something, you know?
But that's the way of societal progress. That's
right.
just how it goes.
Good point.